On to the world of Warcraft.
Oh. Are you going to do an intro and I'm supposed to wait?
3, 2, 1.
All right. Well, welcome back.
You're welcome.
Welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In. It is a weekly World of Warcraft podcast hosted by three opinionated players who like to get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I'm joined by Giggles.
Hi.
And Brian.
Hello.
And I don't know what's going on. Apparently.
Did you guys get a delivery today from Amazon?
No.
Recently?
No.
Oh, I get the joke. Because everybody smokes pot around here.
That's not what I said.
It doesn't matter.
I mean,
it's illegal.
Yeah, nobody smokes pot here.
Yeah, no. Never touch the stuff.
No, I was just, never mind. Heritage armor.
Yes, Brian.
What?
This is your patch. Did you get your fucking Forsaken?
No.
Heritage? Oh my god!
It looks so good.
I played at lunch yesterday, and that was it.
It looks so good. You get a casket on your back.
I'm not into like those kooky weird things though.
It's not kind of kooky and weird though.
I mean, looks
it
really
is
cool. It looks way cooler than the Night Elf
was
stuff.
like the what was the vampire-y covenant called?
Oh,
the
Revendreth.
Revendreth. So,
Revendreth.
Yeah.
No, see that tombstone was just kind of this like it fits. You know,
yeah,
and
it's cool. Because think about it, when you crawled out of the grave, out of your casket and everything,
hold on, I'm gonna stop you right there.
So you took your cat
the Forsaken
in the casket with you.
The Forsaken were never buried. They were killed by this plague.
Okay, but do you not remember Vanilla? When you made an undead character? You literally crawled out of a grave thing or whatever.
And even with Cataclysm revamp, you had to go pull people out of their graves.
Fine, I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
I mean, that's why I think it's fitting. That's why I was like, "Oh, that's really clever," because it was.
I like it.
I would still appreciate more like they look like Lordaeron types of humans.
Yeah.
Humanoid.
The tabard stuff that hangs down between your legs, you get a little crotch cover that's got the L on it. So
yeah,
it does have the Lordaeron thing on it. I mean, so at least they do acknowledge it.
I'll always stick an L around the crotch. That's fine.
It's fine.
Oh,
perfectly
Brian.
fine.
But
it's fine.
The wow, our connection sucks tonight.
Wait, it does?
It keeps dropping back.
That's mine.
No, it's the connection, our video connected. Or maybe it's video? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, no, so there was that. I did it's an interesting little storyline. You fight the Scarlet Crusade again and stuff like that. It kind of takes place over in the Sepulchre and Fenris Island, just to the south of the Undercity and all that stuff. So it kind of ties. It's a lot better than the fucking Night Elf one, which I did go do the Night Elf one just to do it, so my Death Knight can have heritage armor because
Oh,
yeah.
So you gotta do every race.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the ones that I think have it. I have it on, so
that's fun.
I mean, Death Knight army and heritage armor. Yeah, it's great. And that one, it revolves a little bit around Fellwood, or most of it's in Fellwood. But I mean, it's just kind of like, it's like demon shit again.
Yeah, it's very demony.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It was okay. It felt a lot shorter. There was something. Oh no, it wasn't that felt short. It was the new stories.
Sorry. It was what?
the story in the patch for. I mean, and I get that it's a mini patch between major patches, so it's kind of like leading up to 10.2. I don't think we talked about this last week. You work with one of the druids, the one from Hyjal that you fly around with, whatever.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, you're kind of following Farak and
Barack Obama.
Yeah, Barack Obama and Viranoth, because they're doing stuff, and like it's like all this like fire shit, and then, like you find out that they've employed the Druids of the Flame, so they're coming back. Because like the last time we saw them was in Cataclysm.
I guess that's why they're updating the Flame Kitty model.
That's part of it, but I mean, that's also why I don't know if you looked. Brian posted the Moonkin form for one of the bosses in the raid.
I saw the Moonkin forms.
No. He posted a picture of a boss's Moonkin form. This is not the Moonkin forms that Druids are getting. Is that not fucking cool? The fire Moonkin.
It's badass.
Oh.
Yeah. It's probably whatever the main flame druid is. But
they should make that a drop for druids.
Druids got enough.
Coming up in that a drop for druids.
But yeah, so so anyway, you're tailing them, and then like they corrupt a keeper, like the big like centaur looking dudes that look like Cenarius or whatever. And the fire dudes are corrupting it and stuff, and Viranoth's like, this isn't what I want to do. I want to throw off the Titan shit. And Farak's like, no, I want to corrupt the world tree and get all this power. I want to break into the Emerald Dream and corrupt the world tree and make it a fire world tree,
Like Teldrassil.
Except not dead. So Viranoth shows up at the Aspect place in Valdrakken to basically give Alex Straza a warning that he's gone off the deep end. He's no longer my brother, blah, blah, blah. I'm just giving you a warning. She goes to leave, and Alex Straza's like, stay and help us. And she does. So she's kind of sticking around, which is going to be interesting to see how that works. I can't wait for that fucking book to come out.
When does it come out?
It says I'm supposed to be end of October.
Oh.
Amazon says it'll show up November 1st, but I think the last book you got like a few days early or something like that.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Sylvanas book.
I feel like you got it a little bit early because you had pre-ordered it to get it when it comes out. So I'll be looking forward to reading that, because I think that'll be.
Oh, did you order it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you ordered it too.
I did?
Yeah, for your ebook, because you read on the Kindle.
Yes.
Yeah, we've already pre-ordered the book. So, I mean, I think it's Christy Golden that wrote it, so it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Which is a big boon. But yeah, so that's what's kind of going on. They did that, and then there was some like tie-up stuff between the Bronze Dragonflight and the Infinite Dragonflight. How they're going to kind of work together a little bit to find the discs with Tyr's memory so they can implant them into the new Tyr they built. Which, all that stuff. So, and that's kind of it. But, so, I don't know if this got introduced in 10.1.5 and it just didn't go live until recently, or if it went in with 10.1.7, which it could have been, but it's that Secrets of Azeroth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently there's been like 17 like community rumors going around that like pop up on like blue posts or like social media stuff that kind of give clues to stuff in the game or where like the next secret is, and you have to go use. So you unlock these tools in the game, these toys that are tools. One's a thinking cap, where you wear it and it shows you coordinates, and then you can reset the coordinates. So like if you get to a certain place, you can set that as like your center. So like your XY coordinates are at 0. And then you get like these little like notes and stuff like that that have coordinate markers, and you have to kind of go there and try and find it. You find this torch that glows brightly and does stuff, and then you get this little idol that'll like have like laser beams for eyes. Like if you get close to something, it'll point at where it's at, so you can kind of follow that. And you do these things to do all these quests around the world. And like I had to go to Karazhan to do one, the old raid. And I had to get into the library and like find books using clues from one book to find another book. And it doesn't show up on your map. You have to read the notes they give you and decipher the clues. Because like some of the stuff will be like, oh, stand at...
Is that why you guys said it's like super old school WoW?
Yes.
Like
it definitely gave me old school WoW vibes. It's like, here's a quest and it's in your log and it just says, you need to go to the place where the path splits the trees in twain, and, you know, look for the, you know, whatever by the moonlight kind of shit. You know, it's like just weird shit like that. It's like, go to the hearth of the building surrounded in lava and all that stuff. And like, that's where you start, and you reset your marker points to that, or your coordinate system there. And then you can go find some stuff and unlock these secrets and stuff like that. And it was pretty cool. I ended up with you get like kind of like it's a deerstalker hat, which is like what everybody shows Sherlock Holmes wearing, which he never did. Okay. That's something that got thrown into a play about Sherlock Holmes, but it was never canon. Just, you know, a little nerd tidbit there. It's Conspiracy Corner.
Oh no, Conspiracy Corner.
Never heard of it.
That's a throwback.
Yeah. We should bring it back.
I actually had a good idea for doing something else too.
Okay, we can do that in a little bit.
Yeah. No, it's not it's a planned thing. Maybe for like anniversary.
Throw Jim off as much as you can. Throw Jim off.
No, yeah. We don't plan things around here. What are you talking about? We just wing it. Yeah, and then you can get a llama pet or a llama mount. Another llama mount. Yep. Which makes up for the 2 I don't have. Actually, I got the one. I need to go feed the other one again. I think I got like 4 days left to feed.
He just leaves his mount, doesn't feed them. He's like, they don't need food.
It's not my mount yet. I haven't fed it enough.
Not my mount, not my problem.
Oh.
You're welcome.
I want to tell that story, but it is not related to WoW, and it's not a good story for a podcast.
No.
But it's funny. It would be an alright story, but just not for this venue.
Yep.
For this arena platform, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yep.
Anyway, I would suggest doing that. I think that those things are going to be in. I'm not sure how the community secret stuff work. I'm trying to find a list of them without spoilers just to find the clues. And I guess if they've figured out that is the clue, you know, it's kind of like the Secret Finder Discord stuff. But like they're, you know, it's probably a little bit more obvious, so it's accessible, so it is more accessible. But they'll say stuff, wonder what's going on in the Eastern Plague Lands today, kind of stuff. Like, you know, just like be like a random post like that somewhere. Or like the community managers will post something, you know what I mean? And then like, and that's kind of like, oh, something's going on here. And then you go find these satchels. I don't really know what's in them. I haven't really looked at that because I don't want to spoil a lot of it because I didn't look anything up. I just sat there and I said, why the fuck isn't this working? I kept rereading the notes because like you have to keep opening and closing them. I'm like, okay, it says this. I'm like, oh shit, I missed this part. Okay, I gotta do this. You know, it was it was good, and I can't wait for them to do more of it because they're going to, you know. So I mean, it's a neat little thing. It's a good diversion.
It would be kind of a cool thing to do to have like an ongoing quest line that is not the main quest line. Something kind of like the Hildebrand quests in Final Fantasy. Kind of like a jokey side content stuff that, you know what I mean? That would be kind of cool with the Secrets of Azeroth. They could keep doing that.
Well, it's going to continue.
Yeah.
It's like the Preservationist Society, and like you're finding artifacts, and then it's just like there's like this one goblin that you have to talk to, and she won't talk to you unless you're wearing the thinking cap because she thinks people are listening. So like she's like the super conspiracy theory type, and there's like a journalist involved in it and stuff. So I mean, it's good, and it went for like probably 2 weeks, and then there's going to be more coming out. I don't know how often they're going to do it, but it's nice to have something going on in the game, not related to the main story.
Right.
That is fun. You know, it is not easy, but it's not hard either.
Right.
You know, once you get used to, you know, you basically just have 3 different tools to use to do it, and they're toys that don't have cooldowns, which is nice.
Oh, what?
Because you have to use them.
What?
Oh no, fun detected.
Fun detected. No cooldown. Yeah, can I just say, you get a cooldown to get the I don't know if you saw it in Discord, Brian. The Manary.
The Minari.
That's it. Whatever. The Eridar. Things for the Draenei skin.
Yep.
So I posted a picture of mine in there, and I'm like, this is so lame compared to the stupid toy that they give you with all. I'm like, why do they not have cool like fell horns or cool? You know what I mean? Why don't they have cool stuff? No, we get this, you know, 2 shades of skin, nothing else
a couple
cool,
eyes,
and a couple of eyes. No cool horns, no cool like scars or facial things, adjustments, right? Tattoos or anything. Yet they give us a toy that looks freaking cool and is just like that. And it lasts for an hour. But they put it on a 2-hour cooldown. Like, what the fucking fuck, Blizzard? Who cares if you run around looking like that all the time? You know what I mean? Like, who the F cares? Why are you putting cooldowns on that shit? It annoys me so much.
I want to say, it shouldn't bother you that much because I don't think you played an hour straight.
But when I did, it did bother me. I logged in and I did the Night Elf armor, and then I did the Draenei thing, and then that was it.
I think that one was a little short.
Yeah, that was
and like
short.
it would have been better if it was a little bit longer. It does seem to give some implication though that the Broken might be an allied race, a new allied race.
Really?
Well, because it, you know, Valen talks about, or they talk about how Valen offered for them to join them, you know, since the whole Argus defeat thing, and the guy was, and basically they were like rejected it and like no, and all that stuff, and like they made it a point like Valen had to come talk to them so he could meet with the Minari, Draenei, and all that stuff, and you know, do all that stuff. And at the end, it seems like they had some sort of discussion while you're out and doing some of the stuff to come back because you retrieve some artifact or whatever that got stolen by Sargeras and or one of the guys, I don't know. And it's it seems like it's more of a possibility now that they would join you know, either the Alliance or the Horde or just join Azeroth. You know,
they should make it a neutral.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it would make more sense for them to be with Draenei just because of like the culture. But I mean, you could do that. You could make find an allied race that you could make just like a panda, where you pick the faction on creation and that's what it is. You know, I mean, there'd be some good ones. They should give us Gnolls. We should all be Meatball. And the
I mean, they do have nice models now.
They do, and the racial would be just like at 25% health you can automatically kill something, like Meatball does.
Oh my god!
But it would have to be on like a 5-minute cooldown or something like that, and not work on stronger foes or something like that. Just because, you know, everybody would be a fucking Gnoll. But yep. So that was kind of
everybody knows.
Kind of a letdown. Yeah, everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
If you know, you know.
Oh, wow.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
So, I posted a link in thing for the Fey Dragon thing that's gonna be there. The Whimsy Drake Dragon riding mount. It in our chat. It is a link at the bottom. It says the Whimsy Drake. The Flourishing Whimsy Drake. So it shows you all the different customization options and the colors. So you can have armor on it or off of it. So it's not like you saw where you saw a picture of it in the armor and said, oh, they're sticking armor on it. That's not happening. You can choose to have it on there.
Okay, that's
good.
Passable.
The colorations I thought were pretty interesting.
Yeah, the snouts.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
it's just
a matter of how you have to go about getting them.
Well, it's probably just like any of the other ones. You probably just get them doing stuff, you know. So, yep, that's pretty good. It's, you know, more dragon riding mounts and all that stuff is pretty, it's not a bad thing.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of pretty.
Let's see. I don't know what else is, kind of really going on. I've been playing a lot more.
Yeah, you have.
I think part of it is because
nobody else is.
No.
So you gotta.
I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think it's, well, what it is that if I'm playing like Guild Wars 2 or I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, that's the sole focus because I'm doing story in Guild Wars 2 and a lot of it is voice acted and there's a lot of like spoken stuff. So like I'm listening to that, so I can't watch anything. Same thing with Baldur's Gate. I'm not watching something while I'm playing that game.
Right, you're fully immersed in the experience.
WoW, I can level, like, I did the main story stuff, and I paid attention to all that stuff, but I can do leveling and stuff like that and throw up and watch, like, anime. Yes, I can throw up and play WoW at the same time. I'm very talented. I have a splash guard on my keyboard.
Oh, God.
It's like Gallagher over here, man. It's just...
Ew. I'm not going over to your side of the room. You just stay over there with your vomit.
Not a problem. Because it's mine and you can't have any.
I know.
But yeah, you know, it's just kind of like WoW is like a comfort thing. It's like something that you can do where I still feel like I'm accomplishing something because I'm leveling characters or I'm doing story or, you know, farming mounts or something like that, you know, still doing something, but I can also like split my attention, you know, and it's just like, it's kind of like that comfort thing that you can do, like to help that you can do when you're multitasking and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just getting that muscle memory back, not trying to turn the camera like it's Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not every game can be like that, okay? And you need to chill out.
Sadly.
Yep. So
set your expectations as low as possible and don't ever talk about it again.
So I'm wondering, do we know? Apparently, Arclight Rumble got a rename. I don't know why we didn't talk about this.
Because it's a
shit concept.
We talked about it when we talked about it.
Has anyone played it?
I don't think it's even out yet.
I was gonna say, is it even out?
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay, but this is the thing, right? Everything about this game It's like
is terrible.
It was announced, right? And then it just kind of went under the radar.
Because it was terrible.
Every now and then you'd see a developer thing pop up with like a video about developer stuff on it. And like, I saw like 2 of those. I somehow stumbled across something that the name got changed. But with recent stuff in the news, I'm wondering what engine they're building it on. I wonder if they're, I don't know. I don't think they would be.
I bet they're not. I don't
think they'd be using Unity. Yeah.
They use Unity for Hearthstone, but I'd be willing to bet that they probably migrated off of that by now.
That would be interesting to find out. They did that in Unity?
Mm-hmm. At least originally they did.
A Hearthstone?
Hearthstone.
Oh.
Hearthstone, yeah. Yeah, because I think they had a case study with them and all kinds of stuff. So
I'm always surprised when big companies like that use stuff instead of making their own. Like I had to look up. Admittedly, I know absolutely nothing about computer programming, software development, game development, anything like that. So I had to look up whether Baldur's Gate was made on Unity. Because I don't know. Jim's over here shaking his head. No. I don't know. But I was concerned, because this is kind of on the backs of, it's right. And yes, you're exactly right. They developed their own engine, the Divinity engine. So that was, I'm surprised more studios don't do it. Is it just a time saving thing?
It's not just a time saving.
Yeah, I mean they have like the most of the stuff that comes with a game engine though, like especially in 3D, the visuals are kind of baked into a certain point. So by the time that you start at least extending the way that things generally look and render, you're already in the layer of writing your own engine. Mm-hmm. And so that's what like you'll see a lot of like good third party or AAA games or whatever that have used Unreal Engine because it actually opens up the hood a little bit further down. And so a lot of the baseline stuff that they need that they kind of have to make over and over is already taken care of. But most of the like visuals aren't fully baked like they are in Unity. Unity are fully baked to the point where you don't have to do so much work to get something running. But you generally, like if you look at a lot of indie games that are 3D, you will kind of see a similar visual pattern throughout those. So, but for the most part, like WoW or at least like Blizzard, they probably have some sort of engine by now that they reuse over and over. And if not, they have extensibility onto whatever they're deploying onto, so they don't have to rebuild as much.
Yeah. Well, so, I want to say
definitely like shit like this though that Unity did is just a really great example of why you should have at least the chunk of your product fairly abstract from the platform that you're deploying with. So
yeah. Well, like Unity and Unreal, and I think I saw somebody mention one like Godot, which is like an open source one or something like that.
Yeah, that's what people are talking about.
It's like these things allow people to start building the game at a higher level rather than from the very ground up. It's a bedrock foundation upon which to put your ideas and stuff in the game or into reality, and allows, because like indie games do whatever. It's like, and there's plenty of game engines out there. You got the Cry engine, like the Crysis ones were built on.
Those were old.
Ion was on Cry engine, I think, and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what the old Obsidian one was that they used for like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and all that stuff. I mean, those were their own things, and back then they didn't have these things, didn't exist to build stuff on. Like CryEngine was probably proprietary or you had to pay a shit ton of money to.
Yeah, well, I was about to say most of them were like they were just privately licensed. They weren't advertised, and
Right.
There was none of this like free to use up until a certain point and all that other crap.
Which I get to a point, right, where I mean, what this sounds
their model was good, and even now it's not terrible, but it's not a good precedent to set for people in the future. Because really, it's great. Like if you have a game and you sell it, they've already clarified the installation like once, per whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're tracking that, but
right.
They've clarified a lot of that already, which is fine. But the idea that they can change that at an arc, you know what I mean, versus like,
and make it retroactive. And make it retroactive. So games that were built. What about games that are still out there that are available that the dev studio doesn't exist anymore, but you can still get it and install it and it runs on Unity? Who's gonna fucking pay that?
I don't know.
It seems like
it metric. Have to be updated to the latest engine bits to be able to, phone home.
Well, they're saying like this is gonna like be retroactive to, and I don't know if the retroactivity.
I think what they said was that it will even so if you have installs out there right now, it won't count. It's only new installs after the beginning of the year.
I don't know. That still seems like.
No, it's very cringy because then you get like there's a whole different accountability matrix there that you have to be concerned with, and
well, it's just like if it's every single install, right? And how many installs? What do you have to sell the game at versus the average amount of installs that a normal person's going to go through when they own your game over their lifetime?
It's only first install. It's not multiple installs.
So that was a good point, though, what you just said about what does, price, right? Because you think about it, the companies aren't going to just eat that cost. They're going to pass it on to the consumer, which means that there's either going to be more microtransactions in games or the price of games is going to go up or something like that, right? They're not just going to be like, oh, well, Unity raised their prices and we don't want to stress our consumers. No. It's,
it's a pretty good example of, passing the buck on in terms of inflation. So, and I honestly, I don't know, their problem is that they don't just pass the base price,
right?
Kicking it up, right? They are creating another scalable, whatever point of making money off the developer that wasn't there before. And so that's not a matter of and you could think with inflation and everything else that may go up in the future, but it's such an odd thing to do rather than just allow. And the weird thing was about it too is that if you're in the first two tiers of the free or the paid version, or subscription, that is, you get up to 200,000 installs, I think is what it said.
$200,000 revenue for 12 months, or 200,000 or 2 million installs lifetime. Which
there
means
you go. So, but again, that's only first time per whatever something device. That's really hard to say. The biggest shit thing here is that you have tons of Unity games in stores. So if I buy one on my Apple account, then my whole family can download that now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost them any money. And I have iPhone, iPad, a Mac.
Yeah.
And then how are they actually so if I pay a $2 for something, that developer might get charged more than $2. But again, they were going through clarifying a lot of that shit. I think a lot of it just wasn't thought out in terms of how do we make sure that people understand the full.
If it's not thought out enough to where these questions exist, why would you fucking release this?
Well, I think they do it for the same reason that D&D released their thing early. I think they push it out there in the most kind of egregious form so they can walk it back. You know what I mean? So they push out. It's a tactic. So
it's
they
a shit
push
tactic.
It's a shit tactic.
Because
absolutely.
No, it's a shit tactic. Yeah.
It is a shit tactic, but think about it. It's a bargaining thing, right?
Eventually they get to say good on them for fixing it.
Yeah.
And even though they still introduced the shit way of doing it.
Yes.
And the reality is like, one, these indie developers, they can't afford the licenses of the old days. There's no way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they need platforms like this. On the other hand, something like Godot, which is a fully 2D, 3D powered engine, supports multiple languages, including C# and the mono version of .NET, which is what Unity does as well. It's still an open source engine.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably, I don't know, like I'm sure someone is getting paid to support that, but I don't know what the payment points for that platform are. So you could, again, it could be another issue where you walk into a platform and it can change. Because the only good thing about it is you could take it, you could staple it at a point, right? A version before it changes its license and keep that and build off of that. But then you lose all the value going forward with it. And that's what Unreal Engine does this as well, because you can build you can build on the engine version of theirs and keep with it, and they have like these SLAs for their support for certain versions and stuff like that. But they have the same model where you can, if I recall correctly at least, up to so much money or whatever, and then you start paying for a license, or they get kickback or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I understand because I don't remember.
They should get kickback. Kickback is at least something that someone can control, right? Installs is not. It's such a weird metric to pull money from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's not fair because now it's in the control of the consumer rather than the developer.
And I think
at least with the
problem.
developer, like at least when they calculate per income, they scale with them and they never lose money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I'm pretty sure this program probably doesn't lose money. It would be severely stupid for one of the world's most popular game engines for indie developers to come out with a plan that dumb. They just didn't do a good job of explaining what the caveats were with it to people that have to be concerned with, like,
sure,
I know, but
putting food on the table.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The people that it's really going to hurt aren't the big AAA publishers who are using their stuff because they can afford to cover the costs for the installs, right? It's the people who are making the next, big thing.
The next Vampire Survivor.
Sure, or Among Us, or something like that.
You're not going to have enough control.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't really have enough control over the end user and how they may be able to manipulate those metrics. Yeah. Because if they tie it to, say, like a MAC address, I don't even know if they could get that or not. But a MAC address...
Well, that's just it, right? How are they going to know that it was installed? What if it's installed on a system not connected to the internet? How do they know that was installed? They don't, unless they're putting rootkit software in there to fucking phone home.
Or you wouldn't be able to install it because it can't phone home.
Yeah. Again,
I mean, if you're gonna get if you were to install it like on a mobile device or whatever, yes, you have to go through like the iOS store or something like that to actually download something. So you're connected to the internet. Right. So there's some way they could get that. But in the case like desktop and all that crap,
or even Android, you could download it somewhere and then sideload it. You could get the APK for it. And it's just like, so unless you're either going to prevent the Unity runtime from being installed because it can't phone home, which it just feels very
Blizzardy.
Well,
Blizzardy, big brothery.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Diablo 3 came out and then like people deployed couldn't play it because they had to be logged in.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's
what a stupid.
Fuck your always online bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
screw it.
That's so dumb. So dumb. And yeah, this is dumb too. So just, yeah. I mean, I understand it for games that, like MMOs, they require,
Sure, because you're playing with other people, right? So it requires an internet connection, and that makes absolute sense. Baldur's Gate does not require an internet connection, which, again, just another reason why, things that we had in the past, they're not iterating on them and making them better. They're making them worse. They're making them worse for the consumers. And we're letting them.
Agreed.
We're letting them because we are just passively consuming those products. And like,
I mean, let's be clear, Jim's doing it more than we are. So
Jim
has an idea.
Jim does do it.
And this is just a complete tangent. This has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. I was watching a video the other day. I think that we should do a special episode. We should all make an EQ account and do a progression server and start from scratch on EQ and just try to level for as long as we can.
Damn.
Before we want to shoot ourselves. Which might not be very long.
I don't know that I've ever played EQ.
There we go. It came out in like 98, 99.
Yeah, WoW was my first MMO.
It's
so,
I hope you like grinding and running. Although the druids can turn into real trees.
Ooh.
You can go in tree forming. You look like a tree in the zone.
Can I run around in the tree form, or do I just stand there?
I don't remember. I don't think you can run around. I think you're stationary. But what in the game, what they used to do was that the higher level druids would come back to the zone, turn into a tree, and they would be like hide and seek. If you could find them, they'd give you money or something like that.
Oh,
it was really fun.
Okay.
That was the interesting part of there was nothing else like that. Otherwise, you were just killing beetles and shit.
I don't think I'll ever be a higher level druid in EverQuest.
I know. I think we should give that a try just to see how it compares to our experiences with vanilla.
Oh, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
I think I'd be all right with it. I think I played a little bit of it.
I think you'd be okay, but yeah, it's a little rough.
We should record it. And put it on YouTube, right? Like, do we have a server restart in YouTube?
Yeah, well, we have a Gmail account, so we have a YouTube account.
Oh,
we could do that, and we could have like specials, and we could take audio for it and make it an episode thing, and that way you guys don't have to go to YouTube to watch us. You can just listen to it. It's not as fun.
There you go.
But
you don't get to see us dying like a lot.
No, you hear Kristen go, "God damn it!"
Yeah. You would hear me swear a lot.
But we could do that. We could do like some special stuff with like other MMOs that have stuff like that.
I wish I could get you all to play Final Fantasy.
That would be really interesting.
That's not an older MMO.
I know.
We could maybe find a Final Fantasy 11 server.
Private server?
It'd have to be.
It's not up anymore, right?
No, it's not up. There's no way it's up. I guarantee we could find something.
11? I don't think it's still up now.
No, there's no way it's up. Not with 14 up.
No.
But I think that'll be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Would be
actually sound like fun.
Yeah, we'd have to find some time to set some time aside and
that's the hard part. Finding the time.
It's not the only hard part.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
What else is the other hard part? I'm confused.
I'm very confused.
So thank you everybody for listening.
Jim's like, I'm done now. Cut that out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
So tell me how to live my life.
Dude, I want.
No. Let's see. Yep. So no release date for
No release date.
Null release date. That'll be the title of the episode. Null release date. Not that that's nobody's gonna get it.
Not that it's relevant to anything at all.
None of our titles really are.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We also need to go back and do the random episode thing.
We do need to go back and do the random episode thing again.
I hope you improved your code, Brian.
When was that? When did we do that? That was May?
That was wasn't that an anniversary episode?
No.
Mm-mm.
It was. We gave it a test run a while ago. I don't know. Run your thing until you find it.
So I had a good idea. This is the episode. This is the thing that I was thinking of that we should do. How wrong could we be? Episode, where Either people like tweet or
favorite fishes.
No, ask us certain things about WoW, like send out things like
Okay.
And then we try to remember like what happened during those quest lines or what happened during like events or something like that, like, and just see how wrong we are or lore things because we're always wrong. We're wrong about lore.
We could put a bot together, Brian, to scrape the internet for WoW questions and just compile just questions. No answers, just questions. And then just find any like questions.
Well, we would have to have somebody who actually found the answers because we need somebody to.
Well, we could have a link to wherever it came from or something like that. And yeah, it's similar to like, what's this episode about?
Yeah.
It's stuff that we did and we don't even remember.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, how long have we been doing the podcast?
Over 3 years now.
Over 3 years.
We're starting our 4th year.
And we haven't blown up yet. I don't believe it.
What are you talking about? We got listeners in Poland and Germany.
They're secretly listening to us at Blizzard, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true, because they're giving me all the druid stuff just to make me come back and play.
Yeah, Germany and Poland most recently.
If you're Blizzard, if you're secretly listening to us,
blink twice.
For one thing, I will say my greeting now when I log into the game and when I log out of the game is F Blizzard. So sorry about that, but
what?
Because of the stupid Eridar stuff, I was so annoyed with it and the toys and the blah blah blah. But you can redeem yourself by giving me that sweet ass Moonkin form. You could redeem yourself, and everything would be. I mean, I might not play still that much, but I would have a cool Moonkin form for when I did play. Just saying. So, just in case anybody is secretly listening to us, that I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I'm secretly listening.
Oh, that's sweet.
Ow.
And kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And kind of creepy.
Kind of creepy.
Creepy.
One thing too, there was a little bit of an update on the legendary. No class ties. It is a strength weapon, so DK's paladins and warriors.
Yay!
Isn't that
Yay!
fun? For
it is
all the rest of the classes
it is,
that aren't any of those.
Except it is okay. It is the first two-handed strength legendary since Shadowmourne.
Okay.
So, just saying.
Been a while.
Sure, but then, kind of also look at all the other classes that don't get any legendaries.
I bet if we went and looked back next week, we're going to review all the legendaries that have come out in the game that are not from Legion, because those don't count. Because
those were the best ones.
Those are welfare legendaries, but they also weren't weapons. We'll look at all the legendary weapons and we'll categorize them into what roles, specs, whatever had them, and we'll see if
you're
if
gonna do that. Is what you're saying, right? Because I don't have time for that.
I'm just gonna Google it till I find it, because I'm sure somebody else has already done it.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
That's how I solve a problem. I Google it.
Oh, let me Google that for you.
Yeah. All right.
Jim did that to me the other day. I asked the question and
he said, hold on. I said, hold on a second.
Like, hold on. And then he sends me let me Google that for you. And I was like, oh, you're funny. I'm like, I didn't even know.
That's awesome.
Just so you guys know, that's still up and running.
Yep.
Use it.
Yep. I was like, oh, I can Google it myself. And he's like, oh, no. Let me Google that for you. And I was like, oh, you're hilarious. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
That's hilarious.
I was surprised to see that it was still up and running, honestly.
For real now. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Yes,
you can check us
You're
out
welcome.
at facebook.com/server restartin. Choose a tweet of any questions you think we might get wrong or your favorite fish.
Everything.
At server_restart.
Fish.
And yes, fish, please. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.